countdown. So for both Ozipone and Ultyma in this best of 8 match, good luck to both of you, and may the random number gods be in your favor. And we are underway. Both runners starting in Sanctuary and finding the small key for the sewers. So we're open mode and no key sanity, so that's where it is. And we see the first divergence. Ultyma heading for, looks like a Houlihan setup, and Ozipone, not really sure if this is for Death Mountain or probably Lumberjack.
Yep, Ozipone probably is trying to just get to Kakariko as soon as possible. And as you said correctly, Ultyma is going into Houlihan Room to collect his mandated 250 rupees or so.
Yeah, he did this in the last tournament I commentated, so we just have a piece of heart on the Lumberjack ledge, so we won't have any AGA 1 necessities for this seed.
Nope, AGA 1 is almost certainly dead. Or not dead.
Yeah, just a big 20 in Link's house. Bombs from the bush crab, so Ozipone's already gone up to 9 bombs and just a 5 bomb upgrade in Lost Woods. Ultima's gonna be farming bombs south of Grove. And we got a B-Torp in the Lost Woods shack.
More importantly, it is a bottle which allows our racers, if filled with blue goo, to call up the flute menu, even in Dark World.
Speaking of which, there's that flute in the South Grove cave.
I call that a worse blue potion.
Yeah, in Overworld glitches mode, that flute is pretty much useless. Yeah, but there's an ice rod in the Bonk Rocks.
Won't be looking for that one this seed.
It usually means Turtle Rock's a pendant. And looked like it was 50 bucks on the race game.
It's probably worth collecting, considering as almost all of Light World is open. Oh, the hammer in the library.
Yes.
So, as almost all of Light World is open, Zora is as well, and that 500 is not always trivial to get.
That is certainly the case. But 300 bucks in Blind Hut will certainly help towards your Zora fees.
Yep, that should have it covered along with Houlihan Room.
Alright, so we're gonna see the chicken shack from Ultyma. Ozipone's gonna show us the well. 5 arrow upgrade in the shack. And 50 bucks to start in the well. Bottle vendor. Oh, sorry. We got fighter sword, mirror, and heart container in the well. And the bottle vendor gives a 20% return on investment. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you there.
Oh no, I'm actually shocked at these early items at this point. This is starting out a bit friendly looking, but at the same time, it is kind of an interesting thing. With the mirror and hammer in hand, there's almost all of the Dark World locations available to them that could have the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, because you were talking about it. We were talking about it earlier. In terms of AGA, the truth of the matter is, in Overworld glitches, pretty much you just need the Moon Pearl, and you can basically, from the Hera portal in the Dark World, you can pretty much get to most places, as to your point, once you have the mirror. It'll certainly help if you find the hammer and the gloves and can just do it the normal way. But again, that's what the glitches are for.
Ozipone now collecting his hammer, so almost on the same gear, except for that ice rod and flute for now. Ozipone's going to be unhappy about it because he will have to go back with the flute if he wants it. Sorry about that.
That's alright. Looks like Ozipone is trying to set up a glitch. This will get you into Desert Palace. We haven't had a map check yet, so we don't know the importance of Desert Palace just yet. We'll pick up that heart container. But now we get it. Green Pendant is at Desert. We have a 5/6 crystal at Eastern Palace and a normal crystal in Tower of Hera.
5/6 crystal already does not matter since we have the mirror, so Pyramid Fairy currently is already in the logic.
And with the boots, we don't need to worry about whether we're boots locked out of Desert, which, well, there's a small key there, so. But when you have the boots to start, that's always helpful.
Key layout is very unfriendly though, so unless there's an item on the right side, they'll have to backtrack a bit.
But you have that mirror, it'll at least help with the warping.
That is fair.
Alright, Ultyma has the ice rod.
He did go right back to Bonkra, so at this point he could be making a play on Death Mountain. Or
And...
Southern Lightworld.
Yep.
That being said, I just realized they have the mirrors, they have the flute, so they don't even need to clip up to Death Mountain anymore.
Yep, and the second item in Desert was a heart container, so unless you need Lambo for the green pendant, Ozipone has said, I've had enough of this Desert Palace. And now he's gonna get that flute from the South Grove Cave.
And I think he just realized that he forgot to check Agina.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I think you have to go around Ozipone. I don't think you can fit through there. Oh no. If you place it correctly, I guess you can clip on top of it.
Alright, other than Bombos Medallion, nothing much in Mini Trolldorm Cave.
With that Bombos, they only need a single glove now, and Ice Palace is completable.
Yeah, because you use the mirror to clip your way into Ice Palace, right?
It's a mirror wrap, which basically, if you move into a screen transition with the mirror, you'll move one screen towards the direction you're going, and then you move 1.5 screen back, which essentially puts you just in the correct position that you can still walk into Ice Palace. Ozipone, meanwhile, performing the classic Death Mountain Ascent. For this one, you teleport upwards on that screen, and then transition to the right, jump off, and then reset your camera and walk right into the Old Man Rescue Cave.
We got some sync here as both runners are rescuing the old man. Ozipone using the glitch way to get up the mountain, Ultyma using the flute way.
That's right, Ozipone did not opt to activate it, did he?
Nope, he went straight for Death Mountain, which... It'll be interesting to see if Ozipone... He did pick up the flute, but it'll be interesting to see if he ever activates it.
Honestly, it's very like... Ooh, the red cane!
Why are you taking an old man's cane away, guys?
honestly, he got lost in a fairly simple cave, so I don't think it's very beneficial for him to be able to walk.
True.
Now, the thing about Ozipone's routing is that with the mirror, there are two buildings in the Village of Outcasts that are in logic currently for the Moonpo. So it's pretty likely that he'll be headed there very soon, and then he is able to activate his flute with a simple mirroring at the correct spot.
Meanwhile, both of our runners are noping out because there was no fire source for the coffee break, and we got a Master Sword on top of Spectacle Rock, and Ozipone tried to glitch up there and missed. Ultyma gets it.
Yep, Ozipone clipped 1 pixel too far, which will result in a hop instead of a downwards teleport. When performing these feats, you need to clip 8 pixels inwards for an upwards, or 9 pixels inwards for a downwards teleport. For instance, now both racers are going to flip 9 pixels in, teleport downwards, and struggle their way up the cliff with half-circle motions, which allows them to cross this very convenient land bridge that's here for no reason whatsoever, and land on East Death Mountain.
And see that on the floating island, it looked like it was like a 10 arrow upgrade or maybe a 10 bomb upgrade. Or just 10 arrows, not even a capacity upgrade.
Got some very nice sync from the runners here.
Our container and Spiral Cave.
To answer the question in chat, dark rooms are not in logic in any of the randomizer modes.
There are some minor glitches that are in logic and overworld glitches, mostly fake flippering and water walking. You also have bunny revival and super bunny. To your earlier point, Bally, about the fact that Village of Outcasts could have the Moon Pearl right now because of the mirror.
Yep, that is correct. Although, due to an oversight in the logic, only Pearl water walking is in logic, Boots water walking is not.
Alright, so just the cape is pretty much the only thing we found here in Paradox Cave, which that isn't even in, of pretty much other than Spike Cave. You don't need it, because you can clip up to, Bumper Cave.
Yep, and even if you have the cape, it's faster to just clip.
Alright, so Ultyma saved and quit.
And Ozipone is heading back up, which is probably going to be a clip down to the Zora area. Ultyma, meanwhile, is doing a hero clip but did not reset the camera. This could be two things. Either he's trying to clip into Ganon's tower, or he's about to perform a Pyramid Fairy clip. Looks like he pulled out the mirror. No, this is just a Death Mountain descent then. This is one of his favorites. I have only ever seen him do this descent, but it's kind of nice.
Alright, so we have Turtle Rock is Bombos Medallion, which you can clip into Turtle Rock anyway, so that isn't necessary. But Meyer, you will still need the medallion. Speaking of which, Meyer and Pod are your other pendants. Ice Palace is the other 5/6 crystal.
Ozipone, meanwhile, is traveling through Super Bunny Cave as a Super Bunny.
And that Super Bunny is going to check what's in Super Bunny Cave. $100 and powder.
Ultyma, meanwhile, attempting to transition into the building on the same frame that he uses the mirror, which will cause him to gain Super Bunny inside. However, he seems to be inching forward very slowly. If you just enter and exit and then do the transition, then you'll be on the correct pixel. Seems like he did not get it this time around, though, and he is not going to try again.
Meanwhile, ozipone is clipping into Mimic Cave.
It is, in fact, in logic. The mirror clip to the TR ledge is one of the more obscure things.
And that half magic will certainly help. So it looks like Ultyma gave up on that, trying to Super Bunny clip into the C-shaped house, and now ozipone will forever walk into this hole, die, and revive as normal Link.
Which is ridiculously slow. If he just took the left side entrance, he could have been lasered to death in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, but then wouldn't you have to go back outside and return as a bunny?
No, you'd die on the wall, then you revive and place a bomb. So it'll be completely fine. The only time you'd have a problem is if you wanted to open the big chest. So it is possible that they might have that issue. At the same time, they do have 2 firelock chests.
I was about to say, the fact that we're 16 minutes in and we're already checking Turtle Rock.
It is a dangerous place. Things hit for 4 to 6 hearts with their current gear.
But that powder will certainly help in getting some of that health back.
It's worth noting that only the middle entrances are in the logic currently, so ozipone could opt to steal this key and go out of logic. That would guarantee him access to the front, but would not guarantee him access to this chest. Following that, this chest cannot be Moonpull unless the layout is optimal.
But it's burn a key to get a key.
And that is the only thing putting it into logic right now. Meanwhile, Ultyma is attempting the mirror clip over from west to east F Mountain. I think he may have forgotten about the fact that he has the hammer.
Alright, there's the big key. And ozipone's gonna go ahead and mirror back and check what's in the big chest, which is another small key.
And that's kind of bad for him now, because now he's not getting the chest that was still open for him in the front.
Ultyma wasting a lot of time trying to do that clip and gives up and is instead gonna head for the eastern pod area. Probably go and see what's in Hospital's closet.
No, ozipone mirrored out of that room and now he went back to it. I think he's a bit indecisive, but he definitely didn't seem to be happy about the small key in the big chest. I think that's just because it puts the back in the logic, although without lamp, laser bridge should not be.
Alright, we got a bottle of green glue, some water toes, and a bead torp in Sahastra's closet. That was pretty loaded.
I think he might be happy to see that. It is his first bottle? No, he does have the one from earlier. He could opt to forego his troubles earlier on that he had with transitioning and instead fake flute while being a bunny. That gives him a super bunny state and an easy way to revive his Link later on.
But instead, he's gonna go check on Uncle and get the family life savings.
He is dying. It's just an inheritance. Ozzy's going to leave Turtle Rock without checking the front chest on the left side. I think this may come back to haunt him.
I will say that Ultyma did win his race because the GT Big Chest had the mirror and he checked it, and Elminster, his opponent, did a triple dip of Ganon's tower. So we'll see if that first chest in Turtle Rock is a similar fate.
It does pay out to be thorough. Now, ozipone actually did a Heraclip, and he did not reset his camera. He then mirrored in a spot that is actually down in Hyrule Castle Courtyard, because without resetting his camera, his global position just kept going down while he was still on Death Mountain. Now he is going to descend and go back and pick up that portal. And if he does that facing upwards, he will walk into the Pyramid Ferry, and also just for some weird reason gain Super Bunny.
Because, I mean, reasons?
Yeah, it's one of those things that when people were like, alright, you can do this, and by the way, it grants you Super Bunny, and everyone was like, oh, of course it does. Now, ozipone is doing the river clip. He might be doing the super jump from here. No, I think the setup is in a different spot, but disregard the fact that he just transitioned 4 times without actually transitioning. He is just making his way down to Hyrule Castle Courtyard. When any jump takes you through a screen transition, things get very weird, as you can see there.
But he does get into Pyramid Ferry, and we get $20 and $20.
Now, he did place his portal a tad bit high, so he may have to enter and exit a few times. Seems like it was just a single transition, but if you place it correctly, you only have to exit, and you don't even have to re-enter it once.
We did see a vanilla piece of heart on the pyramid ledge, so not bothering with picking that up.
Meanwhile, Ultyma's putting that smoky he found in Sanctuary to good use.
And finds, Brian, we have found your cane. Please come to the Lost and Found in Hyrule Castle to pick it up. Thank you very much. Alright, so now that Ultyma is done with that, he's trying to make his way to the back and check the 3 items in the... Excuse me. Check the 3 items back here. We got the map, $300, and the hook shot.
That is a required item with Swamp Palace being a crystal. We are starting to run fairly low on Lightwood locations where the Pearl could be, so this is starting to get really interesting.
We pretty much have Eastern Palace.
And the Zor area.
Yeah, that's about it. Oh, and Hobo.
Oh, and Hobo. Ultyma once again descending without resetting his camera, but considering I was wrong last time, I'm not going to say anything yet. Oh, he is going for the Bunny GT clip. Interesting play, but the entirety of the GT basement should be open for him with his items. So what he does here is he clips about 8 to 10 pixels into the cliff and then zips up to the correct position by holding up left and then holds down right, jumps onto the GT stairs via screen wrap, and enters as a bunny.
And 25 minutes in, we are into Ganon's Tower, so we don't do the guessing game here because, well, again, we're 25 minutes into Ganon's Tower. So if you want to put in guesses for where the big key may be in the 22 locations of Ganon's Tower, by all means, we'll have some fun, but there's actually a lot more things we could probably find in here.
And as Chaz points out, no fire source, so no right side. That's my bad. But it is still 19 chests that they could potentially open.
And Quake being one of them. The contents in one of them, I should say.
It's worth noting that this is entirely out of logic, but since he achieved it using an Overworld major glitch, it is allowed.
Alright, but ozipone does make it to the back and is able to get that hook shot as well. Alright, nothing much so far in GT. Got chest number 8 here.
But it's only a health refill for him.
Ozipone dropped into the water, and now finally gonna go check South Shore.
As far as we saw, there was only the Bombos medallion here, right?
Correct. So Hospitalist Closet has the flippers. Alright, 9 small key. Alright, number 10, map, 11, 20 bucks, 12, 10 arrows, 13, more money.
That is unusually bad for a major glitches, Gansao.
Alright, Bob's chest, number 14. Ultyma did not get that powder in Super Bunny Cave, so having to wait for Antifairy to get out, and it's just 20 bucks anyway.
He also does not have the half magic from Mimic Cave, so he is going to have to do this with sword beams.
So we'll leave Ultyma to that for a while. Meanwhile, we'll follow Ozipone, who is lining up for a water walk.
He was checking if he had the correct state, and he does. So I expect him to actually fake flip it to Hobo from here, and then at Hobo activate it. Meanwhile, Ultyma lost his sword beam, so now he has to do Master Sword Ice Armos, which is really bad because the Master Sword actually does half as much damage to Armos Knights as a Fighter Sword. He could just activate Brian here.
But he gets to the last one, so... Hobo just giving us a little bit of love, and there's the water walk.
Yep, he needed to activate that there because otherwise he wouldn't be able to check the chests in the Waterfall Fairy Cave.
Oh, and I completely missed what was in the Ice Armos chest, so I'm gonna check here on the restream.
He did get bacon.
But no GT big key, so can't even check what's in the big chest.
If it's in Towel Room, he is in for a severe punishment.
Oh, right, it could still be. Alright, Zoro Ledge having $5. But with that keep, he's gonna bypass it. There once was a fish named Zora who gives you flippers and vanilla, and Rando he sucks for $500. We did this stupid trek for 3 measly bombs.
And with that, we're basically down to Skullwoods, the Village of Outcasts, and the Eastern Palace for Moonpearl.
Yo, that's basically the thing that's holding the runners back at this point.
Oh, yeah, he performed a Graveyard Ledge Clip. That is also in Logic, so I was wrong.
The compass and tile room, so other than some bacon, GT was a bust. Oh, and Quake.
Incredible value. Spent 30 seconds or more hugging a ball to get a compass. Both of these runners performing spin dashes while having the hook shot out. Ozipone realizes. And Ultyma's entering Spike Cave. He is going to have a nasty surprise if he doesn't realize that... Oh, he can't even check it. I was going to say he has no gloves.
Yeah, small little problem there.
It looks like Ultyma's going to pick up a couple of blue potions from here. I think he is planning to fake flute to various parts of the world. Now, it's interesting to note, you usually cannot use a flute in the Dark World, but if you are already in the Dark World and you call up the flute menu with the blue potion YBA, it will allow you to flute anywhere, and you'll get fake Light World for a single screen and the Super Bunny state. Now, the Super Bunny state persists even after you exit the fake world, so if you pull on anything, you get revived instantly as Link. Meanwhile, Ozipone Death Mountain descended the same way with the mirror, and reset his camera using Sanctuary, and now he is a bunny in the Dark World mainland.
Gonna go check on Bumper Cave. And it's the silver arrows.
He does want that, But is he going to one frame for it? Oh, he is going to be able to gain Super Bunny state off of that Silver Arrows if he does this clip correctly. Basically, he's trying to set up the same thing that Ultyma was doing with Ganon's Tower. He is mirroring so that he can actually use Dash Buffer to clip into the cliff, and then he'll take the portal back to the Dark World, hold the input for the downwards teleport, and once he picks up the item, he becomes the Super Bunny. But unfortunately, he was having some trouble with it and opts not to try again.
Meanwhile, Ultyma was about to check Checkerboard Cave and then realizes, I still need gloves for that as well. Alright, so we saw Ultyma try to do a mirror transition to get Super Bunny to check the C-shaped house. We're gonna see ozipone try to set that up here. He gets it, and we have 5-bomb upgrade.
Meanwhile, Ultyma hops into the back of desert, which won't really help him because now he's trapped without the gloves, and he has no fire source to actually complete it.
No. Alright, chess game just having 10 arrows. So that pretty much means it's either Eastern Palace or Skullwoods at this point. But, ladies and gentlemen, to honor Hyrule, please join us for the playing of the National Swag Duck Anthem. And with that, the Hawk's about to rock, and we salute you.
Ultima's going to try the mirror clip again. So he still doesn't realize he could enter the Dark World on top of Turtle Rock, or alternatively, he could use a mirror wrap to get over to the other side and skip all this silly mirroring. But this is the old school, the first way, I believe, that was discovered for getting over to the other side.
Magic Bat just having triple bombs.
Once more, he mirror clips into a cliff, which will throw him for some reason back onto the mountain.
Either way gets it done, and now we'll Super Bunny to get his powder.
And ozipone about to collect his 2 bottles and the flippers, and I think at this point he is desperate enough to dip into Eastern Palace as well.
I mean, to the point we were saying earlier, I mean, other than Eastern and Skullwoods, that's one of those 2 locations have to have the mirror at this point, or something that could lead to the mirror. Or Moon Pearl, my bad.
And on that note, I do find it interesting that ozipone, while being a bunny in the Village of Outcasts area, did not actually walk over to Skullwoods.
I mean, at this point, we've gotten a whole bunch of items, and in terms of go mode, it's really just Fire Rod, Bow, and Moon Pearl.
And the glove. The depths of Ice Palace have... Oh, there's the Moon Pearl in Eastern Palace, apparently.
Well, Sphere 1 strikes again.
That is a terrible place to put it. So thank you for this one, Seed. So the depths of Ice Palace have 2 rocks that do require the glove. I think it's the only dungeon that internally requires a glove for completion.
Right, I can put, I think you're right. I mean, Thieves Town, you can get around by killing the enemies. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think so. Ozipone having a little bit of trouble with the Popo that is aggressively keeping him off, or in this case, on the Switch.
I always forget those names. Forget that that's the name whenever I see him.
I used to call them tentacles, but then people start looking at me funny, so...
Moving right along, we'll see if Ultyma remembers to check that front chest in Turtle Rock that ozipone missed.
If that is value, then both of these races will have something pretty big that the other one will have more trouble getting. Although in Ultima's case, he is probably going to be forced into Eastern Palace earlier than Ozipone would be forced to check that front chest.
Alright, $50 in Eastern Palace, so noping out of Eastern.
I forgot that Ozipone did this without saving and quitting, so he just saved his Darkwood portal. That's pretty neat.
Works out for him. He can go right into Thieves Town from here, and it was just $20. So, no harm, no foul. Ozipone won't get owned by forgetting that one chest. And there's a glove.
The only one that they should ever need. Although logically speaking, if they pick up another one, the game is attempting to hint at... Oh. Alright. So the game is attempting to hint at either the Swift Chain or Ice Palace.
Wow. I think I've only ever seen that one time. I think it was a practice seed. Practice randomizer, no major glitches. And I saw Power Glove and Titan's Mitts in Eastern Palace, but man, to see that in an actual race.
I cannot imagine that he is too happy about that, because that is just too big of a thing to plant in your mind that you may have to go to Ice Palace. And it's also worth noting that they have flippers, they have mirror, they have hookshot, and they have hammer. So Swamp Palace is also strongly suggested.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're just a bow and a fire rod away from go mode.
Fire sources are generally one of the bigger trolls that could happen in overworld glitches. It's not uncommon to see a seed that has 5 go mode dungeons simply because you couldn't pick up a fire source anywhere.
Someone in chat mentioning Bow and Eastern would complete the trifecta with the Moon Pearl being there, but thing is, we've already seen everything in Eastern Palace. Armos, I believe, does have an item, but it can't be the bow because of the red Igors blocking the Armos Knights.
So while ozipone is heading into his blind fight, Ultyma's once again descending Death Mountain. This time for the Pyramid Ferry.
You're gonna be rewarded with that 40 bucks.
And the Piece of Heart, don't forget the Piece of Heart.
Oh yeah, on the pyramid ledge. But textbook blind fight from ozipone. Gets $5 for his troubles in the first crystal of the game, 46 minutes in. You know, when you were talking about Super Bunny being given in the Pyramid Fairy glitch, wouldn't that be because of the fact that you're mirror transitioning?
I think so. It's because you're essentially mirror transitioning, yes. I'm just going to deflect that with I don't even know who coined it, but I'm just going to credit it to Taj. Game's weird, man.
Yeah. Alright, now we're gonna see ozipone glitch into the mire area.
Flashing images warning.
And Bombos is needed for mire, so if we need to get in the mire, we have the medallion for it. $20 in Checkerboard Cave.
Ultyma looks like he attempted to do a transition without resetting his camera on Death Mountain, which locked him into an infinite scrolling hard lock. Now, if that happens, you have to hard reset your game, and you will lose any progress you made since you last save and quit. Occasionally, there are infinite scrolls that resolve themselves in 2 or 18 minutes, but that's not something you want to wait for.
Especially when you're in a best-of-3 race. Yeah, you need all the time you need. Meanwhile, ozipone, with the rain effect from Mire conveniently getting Jeremiah the Bullfrog, and now gonna do the Hammer Peg Cave.
Yep, he is trying to verify that the myths were important because of the Smiths and not because of Ice Palace.
To be fair, they may not be important at all and just be a happy coinky dink.
That is just wishful thinking.
But we will see what Jeremiah has for us today. It's another B-Torp.
3 of the bottles came pre-packaged with a B, and I believe 2 of them were golden. I don't know if that one was golden.
And Ultyma dropping into Skullwoods, and does have Super Bunny. This is the one thing that ozipone did not do yet, so this is going to be new information for us.
Ultyma has to be very careful here not to take damage or walk by a hole, which he did. So he now lost his Super Bunny state and has to do a good old-fashioned dungeon revival.
Alright, and ozipone's gonna show us what's in Hype Cave, as Ultyma does die in Skullwoods and is about to be revived. Alright, Small Key in Skullwoods, Swagnet and Hype Cave. And yeah, whole lot of nothing in Hype Cave. There's the lamp in Skullwoods.
It did have the single arrow that's needed to kill Ganon.
True, but yeah. All right, Gary's lunchbox, more blueberries.
Whole lot of nothing so far behind those gloves.
And nothing in Skullwoods, well, the lamp, but, well, these runners can handle dark rooms, right?
While they can, it will usher him towards completing the Tower of Hera, and he did get that lamp within the logic, so he could believe at this point that the pearl would be vanilla. Or at least French vanilla.
Unfortunately, we know it's in Eastern Palace. And ozipone's gonna go ahead and head into Swamp Palace.
As much as it is a play that you don't generally want to make, the seed did give you all the tools needed to clear it, and it is 6 items, so it makes a whole lot of sense to finish your Southern Darkworld circuit with this.
First item is a 5-bomb upgrade. So pretty much at this point, we know Ultyma has to go to Eastern to get the Moon Pearl. And then we know, in the Power Glove in Thieves Town. And from there, it's just a matter of where's the bow and where's the fire rod.
Yep, and currently, as long as we don't get any items that unlock additional locations in Tower of Hera, of course, I think Graveyard Ledge and Eastern Palace are the only things remaining for Ultyma, so he should be picking up that pearl soon.
And we've seen the Graveyard Ledge didn't have anything in it either.
Yep. Although, maybe he hasn't done this Ore area.
I think you're right. I think ozipone's the only one that did. Oh, there's the fire rod.
Yep, there goes Ultyma's fire advantage.
Now we do know that there is a tempered sword in Ganon's tower, and we know that Bumper Cave has the Bumper Cave ledge has the silver arrows.
And I think with that fire rod, Ozzypone's probably going to make a Skullbook's place soon, and since that's still there, I think he'll opt to collect the silvers. It's just ever so slightly faster to do Ganon with those.
And Ultyma takes care of Trolldorm.
Leaving him with a crystal and a lot of regrets. Looks like he is begrudgingly making the Eastern Palace play, so there it is for him.
Having a little bit of trouble getting those last two puffballs, but gets it done.
Setting up to get a quick kill with the fire rod and a spin, but I don't think that works with the Master Sword.
But gets it there. Sorry.
Yep, very nice 2-cycle. I think that's the best you can do with this gear.
And Ultyma is about to get a shiny sphere. And Rage Slashes incur.
I think he is excited because it opens so many new options for him.
Ozipone thought about leaving, but does decide to go back in and check the left side of Skullwoods.
That comes after. For now, I think he'll do with the left side of Swamp Palace. I think he got both the map and the compass during his travels here, so there are like 2 items left in here, along with a big key that is unfortunately stuck on the left side of the swamp. But he is 1 item away from go mode. Interesting, he does not gamble on not leaving those chests behind.
I believe it's possible that the big key can be locked inside its chest.
Oh yeah, that's a new V29 thing, isn't it?
I believe so. Alright, left side swamp versus a 10 arrow upgrade. And there's the big key.
That is so unfortunate.
I'm pretty sure that's vanilla big key.
Yes, it is.
Alright, Bloomerang in the big chest in Swamp Palace.
That is the wrong B item for him. Ultyma, in the meantime, heading over to Dark Death Mountain on the east side. Using the same clip that he did in the Lightwalk, and ozipone is going to clear the Tower of Hera.
Oh, Ultima forgetting he still doesn't have gloves.
He can get into Hookshot Cave, but he needs to wrap the screen around for that. He looks like he is not going to do that, though.
And meanwhile, he's gonna check... Well, maybe not Spike Cave.
No, he's either going to descend Death Mountain here or do a fake flute. No, he is just going for a good old descent. He did reset his camera, so he's not going to be able to do the super jump. Oh no, he gets into an infinite scrolling hardlock. If you don't dash upwards after doing that clip, then the game will not know what to do with you, and yep, you get a hardlock. Looks like he is descending again without the camera reset, so this could go and be the 8-foot fall. Foot, yard, I don't know, 8 kilometers? Oh no, he is attempting to do a normal Death Mountain descent, but for that you need to reset your camera, otherwise you get stuck on the transition.
And unfortunately, with both glove upgrades being in Thieves Town, you're gonna have to do this in order to get there.
He could use the 2 blue potions that he picked up to flute to Thieves Town.
Meanwhile, ozipone is in the Troll Dorm. Very nicely done.
Getting his map and his 3rd crystal.
And Ultima is able to descend the mountain. And we'll see where he goes from here. He is going to go up to Bumper Cave, so probably we'll get the silver arrows from here.
Yep, it makes no sense to leave those behind. It just pays for itself with how much faster Ganon and various bow bosses are with that.
Especially since Ultima's already done Ice Armos.
Oh no! He clipped one bomb too low and he gets himself stuck.
Ouch. Meanwhile, we see ozipone going into Turtle Rock the normal way. Has that fire rod, so we can't see what the two chests are on the right side. And actually can full clear now that...
Yep, and I think this is somewhat of a routing mistake. While logically this is what you are supposed to do. With the mirror, he can actually mirror wrap to the laser bridge, beat Trinex, and then be dumped on the nose of the turtle, where you just mirror and then do what he did and enter through the front.
Just a bit outside, but gets the torch on the second pitch. I believe Trinex does have an item at this point.
Yep, I think we got the worst laser bridge imaginable, which is 1 small key and 2 dungeon items.
Alright, now we're gonna see Hookshot Cave from ozipone. There's a mushroom. Ultyma is about to get his Titan's mitts. Red meringue and $300 and heart container.
Chad is pointing out that ozipone could, instead of going to Trinex, opt to clip the skull boots from here using a map wrap. It looks like he is heading back to the west side, so he's either descending, which makes not a whole lot of sense, or
the spike cave.
You can also use an invulnerability item and spin speed to get yourself out of the spike cave very fast, so he could just chain this with Ganon's Tower.
Oh! 1 hour, 7 minutes, 27 seconds in, ozipone is in go mode!
Amazing bow location. And that means he has 2 dungeons that he can go mode, since he's cleared most of Turtle Rock already. But at least he gets to not full clear Ice Palace. Pretty big deal.
And gonna head for Skullwoods first.
So if ozipone decides to go left side first in Ganon's Tower, he will have a Tempered Sword. But if he goes towards the right side, which we know contains the big key at this point, he's probably not going to get that upgrade.
ozipone has seen that silver arrows are on the bumper ledge, so we know he knows they're there. It's just a matter of if he decides to go for it. I mean, at this point, you're staring down Master Sword Silverless, so...
Yeah, I think he is going to get silvers at this point.
Alright, time for the Mothula. Nicely done.
The moth decided to stick to the top spikes, but Ozzy says, well, that's not going to stop me.
Alright, crystal number 4 for ozipone as Ultyma heads into blind. An ozipone mirroring, going back for the Skullwoods portal. I have to imagine that's for those silver arrows.
Yep, he has nothing else to do in this area, so it is almost certainly for those.
And there it is. Now, we do know that there is a tempered sword upgrade in the one of the 3 Ice Armos chests. So we've also seen Ultyma do all of left side GT basement, did not find the big key, so it is in the 4 chests on the right side. So if ozipone decides to not if he goes right side first, he may actually miss that sword upgrade.
I believe there was a small key on the right side in the right side chest, so he is almost certainly going to skip Ice Armos altogether. Unless he actually just decides to dip the GT basement for a sword upgrade. There are a lot of chests. There is a good chance that you would get it, but I think runners of these levels will probably not go that far out of their way to escape a Master Sword Ganon fight.
And realistically, I think we'll know if ozipone is still hunting for it, depending on how he does Ice Palace. Because if he just straight up go modes it, then you got to think at that point he's pretty confident with just doing Master Sword Silvers.
Yep, pretty much none of the Ice Palace chests are convenient to open up, so yep, that will definitely show.
And we know the lamp was in Skullwoods, so... But having the fire rod, ozipone is able to light the torch to see his way to that key from the green Igor.
Yep, Bopos gave him a little bit of trouble, but that didn't end as badly as it could have. Ultyma, in the meantime, escaping the mire area for your clip. Gets the same broken camera as you see in the light bulb when you go to K45.
Alright, ring around the Armos Knights. Ashes, ashes, the Armos Knights fall down. Oh, there's a tempered sword! And crystal number 5.
That's extremely convenient for him.
Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you there, Bally.
It's fine, I have no idea what I was going to say.
Now I feel even worse about that.
Looks like Ultyma's leaving Hype Cave instead of saving and quitting, so he could very well be going to Swamp Palace. It does look that way.
He will be getting the Fire Rod once he heads in there. We did get a question in chat. Are they playing different seeds? No, in all of the randomizer races, whether it's overworld glitches, no major glitches, randomizer, whatever modes, we always give the runners the same seed, and it's just a matter of who can complete it the fastest.
Getting a little trolled by the floating jelly things, which I'm sure have a name.
For those asking in chat, Ultyma did do GT Perilous about 25 minutes in. We didn't have a fire source, so was not able to do right side at all. There was a quake, I think in the first two chests on the right side, and then tempered sword behind Ice Armos. We have not found the big key, so that will be either chests 19, 20, 21, or 22 on the right side.
Which honestly is looking more like 3, 4, 5, and 6 currently.
Well, considering it's an unofficial guessing game, I'm just gonna go with the numbering that we've seen them at this point. And yeah, with getting that temper sword out for the Armos Knights, ozipone is clearly go moding and just getting to Ganon as fast as he possibly can. Making a pit stop for a fairy, though.
He is lugging around a complete zoo right now with 3 bees and a fairy.
He's got plenty of money. He could flute to the witch's hut before heading for Turtle Rock. But with that half magic, should have no problem with Cold Stare, especially getting him in a corner. And very nicely done, ozipone.
Yeah, a great use of a spin to corner Cold Stare and finishing off with a Fire Rod. Very nicely.
And that is crystal number 6.
All he has to do now is pick one of the 4 accessible entrances to Turtle Rock.
Preferably, since this is a overworld glitches, probably the one that involves you just going for the laser bridge door.
He is most likely going for it. Otherwise, you probably have no reason to flip up here with your current gear. Yep, so he is setting up a mirror ramp. This involves mirroring on the same frame as you enter a screen transition, which will push you in the other direction by about half a screen. Which somehow conveniently lands you on the smallest ledge ever, leading into the laser bridge. Now all he has to do is bomb open the wall that he's standing on.
Little kamikaze action there. But gets him through and on his way to try and exit crystal number 7.
Very nice cane dash for the double flip.
And down goes Trinex.
Getting the quickest kill you can with a tempered sword. Very nicely done.
And there's crystal number 7. So there are 4 locations where the Ganon's Tower Big Key can be in the basement of Ganon's Tower, because Ultyma already checked 18 of those for us. So unofficial guessing game if you want to go 1 through 4, because they're pretty much just in the 4 locations in the chest on the left side. But ozipone gonna save and quit. I'm guessing he's gonna clip into Ganon's Tower as opposed to going through the cutscene.
It is definitely much faster to just clip in. Chat, we're only taking numbers from 1 to 4 right now.
Because this is unofficial. And into Ganon's Tower we go.
There was no key here, there was one on the torch. My bad.
No. Oh yeah, I forgot about that as well. Alright, so he'll see the key here. And we'll see if he decides to keep going left or right. Gets the key, rip Bob, and we'll go left.
And that means he is probably going to get everything, including his 4th sword.
I have nothing to base this on, but it is entirely possible he may do Dark Magician from here. Nope, he's committing left side. So I guess we can go. Well, no, because he won't check tile room.
Who knows? There is the gamble. Meanwhile, Ultyma is searching Ice Palace for his bow, so unfortunately he won't be go moding it like Ozzy did.
Yep, bow is in Spike Cave. Well, ozipone will get that butter sword from Ice Armos.
And he has bow for the fight. Misses the last arrow, but very nicely recovers.
All right. So he's done the same 17 chests so far that Ultyma did.
But he will most likely skip the 18th and not pick up his compass. Might have a little trouble finding Agatu after that, but I'm sure he'll manage.
I'm sure he'll be fine. It's not like we've played this game ad nauseum for 30 years and thousands of randomizer matches. But that is why I said we were only doing chests 1 through 4. Because the chances of him going through tile room were between slim and none. But, alright, here we go. Number 1, 10 arrows. Number 2, 5 arrow upgrade. 3, 10 arrows. And number 4, or 22 all together. There's that Ganon's Tower big key.
We did have 1 4 guess, and congratulations, you win even less than if this was official.
But we can, to Marshmallow, we can offer a year's supply of randomizer seeds. All you have to do is just go to ALTTPR.com and claim your prize. Offer only valid to version 31 of the randomizer. Offer completely ignores the fact that anybody can go to ALTTPR.com and claim this prize. The randomizer is for everyone. However, if your randomizer lasts longer than 4 hours, please consult spoiler log. Have your doctor have you checked for eye suckitis, which involves an addiction to cane or powder or fairies. Terms and conditions apply. Void where prohibited.
Nice.
And at 1 hour, 28 minutes, 6 seconds, ozipone is into the gauntlet.
Yep, no male upgrades for him, but everything he slashes even vaguely towards will die, so should make quick work of this.
All right,
No.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You were about to talk about the same thing, go ahead.
That Ultyma is into Cold Stare as ozipone is into Lamo too.
Yep, that sounds about right.
And Ultyma just stares out into the distance as the steals green rupees from him.
I believe it's called a pick hit. And I think he was having a quick break there. Not realizing that if he does that out of Ice Palace, he will be robbed.
Fisher-Price, My First Shield, and a piece of chivalry in the mini Helmasaur room.
Well, that answers my pre-race question then.
Bringing everything full circle.
Tempting to get another safety fairy, but he does not have any empty bottles, so he'll have to make do without it. I'm sure he'll be just fine.
And Ultyma does head back up to Dark Death Mountain, but it's Spike Cave he needs to go to get the bow.
Which is often forgotten, but every time that you enter the Dark World and on Death Mountain and do one of these weird clips, you just pass by Spike Cave, and you could have checked it.
Also, Ultyma getting wall mastered. But for ozipone, time for the Geometry Wars.
Making the best he can out of a very unfriendly first pattern.
Yeah. None of these patterns have been very friendly.
This
Here
is a
we
good
had
one.
a good one.
Oh
But
no!
only gets one from it.
Yeah, Agatu is so desynced right now, he cannot land the other shots. There we go.
There we go. Down goes Agatu, and it is time for the big pig.
Meanwhile, Ultyma is going to show us something that you generally don't see in No Major Glitches Seed, opening the Ganons out of big chest.
Alright, 6 butter slashes for phase 1, 6 butter slashes for phase 2. Be careful because Ganon Hugs cost 4 hearts of damage.
Taking
does have fairies, but I'm sorry, Bally. I am so sorry.
It's fine. He did take a few fire bat hits, but he does have that fairy in the pocket, so he should be just fine.
And Blue Mail was in the GT big chest. And into phase 4 we go. Does not get the torch glitch. Ooh, he got it. Only gets a double though, and that should do it. And with that, ozipone finishes with an official SRTV time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 1 second. Spam those GGs in chat.
Yep. Unfortunately, just a few seconds after that happened, Ultyma has forfeited the race. GG to him as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, with it being early here in these United States, Ultyma did unfortunately have to go to work. So having lost the first race, he did decide to forfeit. But once again, ozipone also will not be able to join us because he does not have access to a microphone. So, Bally, I think it's up to us to kind of wrap things up. I mean, it pretty much just came down to Ultyma having trouble finding the Moon Pearl, and just kind of ozipone just had the luck of going to Eastern Palace to get it first.
Yep, and afterwards the Spike Cave play from ozipone paying off handily, able to skip full clearing Ice Palace and, well, just putting him into go mode.
Pretty much. That's how the rando bounces sometimes.
Yep. ozipone is in chat, so he can answer questions there. Unfortunately, as it was mentioned, we cannot get him in for a proper microphone interview. So from these races, we have a race 2 on Thursday. And it is even unfriendlier to all of the time zones at 12:30 at night, Eastern.
Yes, someone asked in chat, did Ultyma forfeit from the tournament? No, he just forfeited completing this race. This is a best of 3, as Bally mentioned. Game 2 will be at 12:30 a.m. Eastern time on Thursday, so late night. We had early morning rando today, and we'll have late night rando Wednesday night into Thursday morning.
Definitely keeping us entertained all over the time zones.
Yes, this will be it for Overworld Glitches today. Game 1 of Gem versus Zero Rush will be tomorrow, Wednesday at 5:30, and then Act the Boker and Furry Aim will be at 7:30 as well.
Yep, and Gem vs Zero Rush in the afternoon on Thursday, and Christos Owen vs Espion playing all around Saturday.
All right, so I think with that, we're going to wrap up shop. Shout outs to Danny for tracking and setting the race up for Speed Gaming, and thanks to all the Speed Gaming staff. Balame, it was certainly a pleasure co-commentating with you this morning.
And for me with you.
But with that, I think we're going to wrap up shop here. Thanks again, chat. Thanks again to all the Speed Gaming staff. Please be sure to give ozipone and Ultyma follows on Twitch. They put on quite an entertaining match for both of us to commentate and for all of you to watch. But with that, that's going to do it for us here. Thank you all again, and we'll see you next mission.
See you next time.